News outlets accuse the Supreme Court of issuing a huge setback with their 6-3 decision to uphold a ban on sex change treatments for minors, calling it a devastating loss and a major blow to rights and protections. But according to a poll by the New York Times, 71% of Americans oppose these treatments for children. Joining us now with his reaction is Dr. Eitan Haim, a surgeon and a whistleblower, the one who exposed, it was Texas Children's Hospital. They were hiding their pediatric transgender medicine program, hiding it from the public, and he exposed it. So thank you so much, doctor, for coming on with us.
Yeah, thank you for having me on.
You're welcome. You read these headlines, and they are blasting the Supreme Court for their decision. But what do you say? What would you say to the people who are writing these articles?
You know, I think it makes complete sense that they're blasting the Supreme Court decision, because when the media perpetuated the lies surrounding quote unquote gender affirming care, they made themselves complicit in one of the most heinous crimes against children in the history of medicine, right? You have these children who are sterilized and mutilated, and the adults, the ones who are supposed to protect them, were the ones who were exploiting their vulnerability in order to benefit their own false virtue, right? It's like the innocence and misery of the innocent was harvested in order for the benefit of the wicked. And, you know, any self-reflection on their part leads to the conclusion that they were themselves complicit in this heinous crime.
So, Dr. Haim, if your child came to you and said, I want to be the opposite sex, what would you say to that child, or what would you say to your patient? Why do you think it's dangerous to take these hormone blockers and other medicines?
Well, because these are the most powerful medications developed in the history of medicine. Like, puberty blockers are used in a very, very select number of endocrine pathologies. Hormones also are used in a very select number of diseases. And the key word is disease. There has to be a diagnosable problem that you have. And if you do not have that problem, then the only thing these doctors are doing is exposing the patient to risk with no benefit. Like, I'm about to do a bunch of surgery on a bunch of patients. Today's my operating room day. Like, the reason I'm operating on them is because they have a disease. They have a diagnosable problem. In these children and even adults, right? This idea that their gender identity is not aligned with their quote unquote sex assigned at birth, that's a fantasy. That's not real. That's witchcraft. It's like using a rabbit's foot to treat a bleeding carotid artery. It makes no sense.
Huh, that's interesting. There are some people that we've interviewed that have detransitioned, and they regretted having their breasts removed at a young age or taking some of these hormones and that kind of thing. And they say the doctor would tell their parents, well, you either need to do this or your child's going to commit suicide. So what do you say to parents that are out there that are struggling with this issue?
You know, I think that it's hard to tell them exactly what to do and what to say, because every child is different. Every person who's going through this is different. They're going through it for different reasons. And I think it really depends on the situation, because some people need tough love. Some people need to be cut off completely. And some people need to be withdrawn from a social environment that's very poisonous. And, you know, it's important to remember the idea that if they don't have these interventions, they're going to kill themselves. That's a lie. Mm-hmm. That's not true. That was confirmed in the Supreme Court, the oral arguments in November of 2024. Right. The lead attorney for the ACLU, Chase Strangio, this woman, even, you know, in an exchange with Justice Alito, had confirmed there's no evidence to show that. There's no evidence to show that there's a decrease in completed suicide. Right? It's a kind of a bait and switch, right? It's actually suicidality. It's the thoughts of suicide.
Dr. Haim, I'm so
that they've
sorry.
kind of showed.
This is so interesting. I could talk to you for a long time about this. Thank you so much for coming on. I wish you all the best with your surgeries today, but we've got to go to a break. Thank you for coming on.
I'm Steve Doocy.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhardt. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.